Welcome, Travel World, and welcome to another segment of Experience Travel with Katie and Allie. My name is Katie Lilly, and I am the owner of the Travel Marketplace.
And I'm Allie Schultz, expert travel consultant with the Travel Marketplace. Today, we're going to experience travel with Kenny Dunn with Eating Europe. Hi, Kenny.
Hi, how are you guys?
Good, welcome. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and introduce us to your company, Eating Europe?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. I'm glad to be here. So I'm originally from Philadelphia, but you're interviewing me where I live and where I've been based the last decade, which is in Rome, Italy. And I started Eating Europe 9 years ago here in Rome. And what we do, we offer small group and private culinary tours, classes, experiences now in 10 cities across Europe. I mentioned, so 9 years ago is where it all started in a neighborhood here in Rome called Testaccio, which is where I was based for about 6 years. And essentially that first tour was almost a day in my life. So it was going to the market, the food market, going to the place where I used to go for my morning cappuccino and my favorite little pizza shop and sitting down at one of my favorite local trattorie. And the idea then, and which is still kind of really what we try and do in all of our tours, is give people kind of a taste of local life, the cuisine, the culture, meet some of the people behind the food, some of the characters, the colorful characters in the various neighborhoods where we work in each of the cities. And all of our tours are quite immersive, really engaging, about 3 or 4 hours, and really lets people kind of get more of an insider experience of the city.
That is very true. Food tours have been very popular with a lot of our clients. And I think one of the reasons why is people like to experience the culture within the destination that they're staying in. And one of the great ways to be able to do that is through these food tours. What are some of the destinations that you're offering these tours in?
Yeah, well, we're in 10 different cities. So we offer tours in 3 cities here in Italy: Rome, Florence, and Naples was a city we just started offering about a year ago. And then we're in Paris, London, Lisbon, Amsterdam, and Prague. Oh, and sorry, I forgot to. And 2 of our newer cities, which I didn't mention, Strasbourg in France, as well as Porto, also in Portugal, like Lisbon.
That sounds great. And what is your most popular tour?
So Rome, as I mentioned, is where we first started. So that's still our largest destination. So naturally, our most popular tour in terms of numbers is here in Rome. It's called the Twilight Trastevere Tour. And it's kind of a progressive dinner or eat around in a very popular and vibrant neighborhood in the city called Trastevere. And it's just a great experience because we visit about 6 different places. The highlight on that tour, which is almost universally the favorite stop, is we go into this restaurant called Spirito di Vino, and you walk down about 20 steps. Each step is about, is walking back several hundred years in time to the wine cellar, which is 90 years older than the Colosseum. And so you're in this ancient, 2,000-year-old wine cellar, naturally drinking wine, surrounded by about 7,000 bottles of wine. And it's just such an incredible setting that you could really only experience here in Rome. And then we actually pair with the wine, this dish that Eliana, who's the chef, has created, which was from a cookbook of Julius Caesar's. So she's recreated this ancient Roman recipe. It's this stewed pork shoulder that she stews for about 12 hours. It's amazing. And so, you're in the setting, it's an ancient dish, and, you're drinking it in this very old wine cellar, probably one of the oldest in the city. And so that's one of the highlights, and that's definitely our most popular tour across the cities we operate.
It sounds like an amazing tour.
It really does, Katie. I've been to Rome several times, and actually, surprisingly, I've never heard of that restaurant, but that is now absolutely on my on the top of my bucket list next time I am in Rome and Italy. So at this point, I think you did mention that you do have a video. So why don't we go ahead and show that now? Well, that made me hungry, and I know that, thank goodness it's almost lunchtime here. I know where you are, Kenny, it's not, but for us it is, and I'm definitely going to go make myself something to eat after watching that. And the nice thing I do like about your tours is they're pretty reasonably priced. So that's really that's a nice thing. The other thing that I'd like for you to discuss is your Flexi plan. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so what we did, so actually, it's called the Flexi Pass. And so what we tried to do, just knowing obviously the somewhat uncertain times we're now living in, is offer an option where if you buy one of our Flexi Passes, you can use that for any of our tours in any cities. You can change the dates as many times as you want. You can transfer it. So just kind of give maximum flexibility. So for example, if you booked a tour with us in Prague and then weren't able to go, you could change that for a different tour in Paris. If the tour in Paris is a little bit cheaper and you had an extra 30 euros on this Flexi Pass and your sister-in-law was traveling to Florence later, you could give her that, whatever the remaining balance is, and she can apply that to any of her bookings. So really just a way for people to kind of have that, that security, and that knowing that no matter what happens, they can make as many changes as they want and give it to whoever they want. So total flexibility.
I did have another question for you, Kenny. Does Eating Europe, are you able to accommodate people that have food allergies?
Yeah, absolutely. And that food allergies or dietary restrictions, I think these days, I mean, that's, I think all food tour operators kind of operate in that way, because so many people do have, different restrictions. So we offer tours for vegetarian, lactose intolerant, gluten-free. And so in every city, we have tours that kind of meet any possible dietary requirement. And a lot of people actually have a couple, and we're used to that. And we just want to make it so that no matter what kind of restrictions you have, the experience is still just as rewarding and authentic. For you.
It's great because it is important, I feel like, for companies to be able to do that. My boyfriend has a tree nut allergy. So every time we travel, having to contact, whether it's a resort, hotel, check at the different restaurants, it's nice when companies actually help you with those sorts of things to
Absolutely,
make you enjoy your vacation a little bit more.
100%. Yeah. And it's so important, and sometimes it is a health restriction, and so all of our guides are trained in kind of understanding the importance. If it was someone like your boyfriend who has a tree nut allergy, that can be pretty severe. And for other people, it's just they don't like seafood, or they don't like something. And, you know, we also accommodate that in the same way.
Perfect. Is there anything else that you would like to say today before we go?
Well, one, you know, like everyone, I am very excited for when things do come back. And for me personally, that I can travel to all these cities that I love and taste all of this wonderful food that I've been missing, as well as welcome all of our guests. And the other thing I think is, you know, I know things are going to be changing. And one thing that people might really prioritize is doing things in a more private basis, just with your family or whoever your travel companion is. And really, since our inception 9 years ago, we've offered our small group tours, which go up to typically 10 or 12 people, as well as all of our tours are offered privately. And so either way, if you wanted to join some other travelers, you know, that's we'd welcome you on one of our small group tours. Or if it's something that in today's climate that you'd prefer to do alone, then that option exists as well.
Which might be nice for honeymooners. Honeymooners, we sent over to Italy. Being able to do a private dinner experience might be a nice little touch.
Nice romantic touch, absolutely.
That's correct. That's right. Well, thank you so much, Kenny, for joining us today. And thank you, everyone, for experiencing travel with the Travel Marketplace and Eating Europe. If you have any questions or would like any more additional information on Eating Europe, please contact us at the Travel Marketplace. Until next time, stay healthy, stay safe, and keep dreaming about your next travel experience.